Hi guys, and welcome to another haul video. So today we're looking at some equipment I've bought for my natural terrarium build. Now I found it difficult to find videos on YouTube about building natural terrariums specifically for geckos, so I hope this video will help give you some ideas of things you may need. So let's start off with the first item, expanding foam. So as I mentioned in a previous haul video, I am making my own background for this terrarium and it will be made out of foam. This foam. So most people use the Great Stuff brand, however I found it hard to find over here, and there's a fair bit of debate on which expanding foams are actually safe for both plants and animal life. Also, I don't really like the white yellow coloured backgrounds which are common with the Great Stuff backgrounds. Even when they're covered you can see that they're white and yellow from the back of the tank. So I found this foam, it's called Touch and Foam Landscape, specifically for ponds, so you know it's safe for animals and plants and won't get damaged when wet, and it's also black, so even better. To cover the foam you're going to want a sealant. Now most people suggest just an ordinary sealant like this. I believe this one is commonly used in aquariums, so once again you know it's safe. You can buy this in white, clear, brown and black. I chose black and I bought 3 of them. Next we have the most expensive part of this tank, the lighting. So the Jungle Dawn certainly isn't the cheapest of lights, but it does its job well. And I had to buy the 22 watt for this tank since it is 60 by 45 by 60 centimeters. Isla's tank is only 45 by 45 by 60 centimeters, so it only required the 13 watt, and as you can see there's quite a massive difference. Now the 22 watt, the one I bought for this tank, was £50. That's the cheapest I could find it. Now I bought the light fitting for it. Unfortunately the light's quite long, so the fitting doesn't hold it up very well, so you do have to prop it up on the other end so it's balanced. The next item is the drainage layer. Now I'm going to be using hydro balls with this. This is the Lucky Reptile Hydro Fleece. Now I've never tried this before and it's certainly very different compared to your standard mesh layer. I used the Zoomed Terrarium Substrate mesh in Isla's tank, but when I bought it, it cost me over 10 quid with delivery, and it's only 46 by 46 centimeters. So I brought a cheap alternative, this drainage layer, which is 100 by 50 centimeters. So I can cut it down and I have some left over. Now we have Substrate. Now of course I will be using Eco Earth, but then I thought I'd try out some Arcadia Earth mix as well. And for orchids and bromeliads who like to get air to their roots, I bought Pro Rep bark chips. Now sometimes I use cocoa planters with plants like this just so that the soil and the bark chips don't mix together. Both bags are 10 litres each. To go into the soil I bought worms. Yep. Worms. Usually these are sold as food, but I chose to let them live carefree in the tank as long as my gecko doesn't see them. Worms are great for terrariums since they make the soil more fertile, they'll break down decaying plant matter, and they don't harm growing plants. Then we have some fishing wire. I've bought this to either attach plants to the background or attach moss to bits of driftwood. And I have some small clips to help attach the vanilla orchid to the background. Now once it's settled in, I'm sure it will probably hold on to the background itself, but I thought these will help as a support. Now these clips are actually just hair clips. They're similar to orchid clips, but a lot cheaper. And finally I have this piece of cork. I needed a piece to use as a planter, and unfortunately no shops near me even sell cork pieces, let alone ones big enough to be a planter, so I went on eBay and found this one. And if you're interested, I bought it from a seller called Honey72. They've got tons and tons of different pieces of cork in all shapes and sizes, and they were particularly helpful to me when I was trying to find the best piece for my terrarium, so go check them out, you'll probably find something you like. Now I may cut this piece in half so I can have 2 or 3 planters, but we'll wait and see. So yeah, that's everything I bought for the tank. Now obviously I have a few spare bits of driftwood and cork flats that are already in with my gecko, so I may use them when I do the build, and I will also film it all in case any of you want to try to make your own natural terrarium too. And I have to say, it can be quite expensive when buying all the equipment and plants for the tank, but I swear it's worth it in the end. Isla, who already has a live terrarium, moves around her tank far more than my Gecko in its artificial setup, and I'm sure that's because of the live plants. And the other day I put my crested gecko near a plant. She flicked her tongue, picked up the scent. This is a completely brand new plant to her. She crawled straight onto it. It's like how she reacts when she picks up the scent of food or another gecko. It's live, it's natural, and they can tell, and she would not get off that plant. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching.